This is a motion technique video that was filmed a long time ago that talks about motion placement, motion sharpness, and anything else that you need to know to help develop great motion technique. And in Palm, we have three basic hand motions. We have the candlestick. And with the candlestick, you want to be able to tell if you're coaching younger ones, tell them that if they were to pick up a candle, they don't want the wax to tip out. So candlestick will be straight up. We'll go to buckets. And on buckets, you want to think about the buckets as if you were picking up an actual bucket. You don't want the water to tip out. Like I said, these are cute little tips to tell if you're teaching younger ones. We'll go on to blades. On blades, what you don't want to have is have your arms so tight that then your hands start to curl up. And then you don't want to say to cup your hands too much or it'll go to that. So you can go around and do like a little flatten a pancake. And there. So again, we have candlestick, we have buckets, and we have blades. Clasp in palm. We have our clasp. With the clasp, you want to make sure that your hands are staying tight and the thumbs are in. And what I do for this one is I tell, if I'm teaching little kids, I say, think about having a big wad of bubble gum in between your hands so that way that you're not flicking up at the wrist. It's nice and tight. And you have clap. Biggest thing on these is to make sure that you clarify between your dance team if you're going to have your elbows, the width between your elbows, if they're going to be a little bit wider or if they're going to be maybe all the way together. So you will clarify that whenever you're teaching this. On the actual clap, think thumbs are in and nice and tight on the clap. For a little variation, you have a face clap and face clasp. You have over the head clap. And you have stomach clap. You can do different things, but that's just a little variation added in on your clap. And now we're going to go over the basic palm motions and placement. And we will start off with just a good, regular, clean. Biggest thing is you want to make sure to tell your dancers to have the hands nice and tight and clean because there might be times that you're not doing these things with palms. So you don't want thumbs and fingers out. That is something that you can definitely see and you can see far away. So you want everything to be nice and tight and clean. Thumbs and hand positions in. You need to verify on whether you're going to be cleaning in blades or cleaning in fist. Our next clean would be just hand on the hips clean. On this, make sure that you have triangles in between and that the wrists are nice and tight and they're not broken and your shoulders aren't slouched forward. So nice and tight, shoulders up, chins up. Next thing we'll do is we'll do daggers. Basic daggers are just make sure that it's parallel in between here and nice tight motions. We'll go on to the next one will be touchdown. Now, on the touchdown, biggest thing, make sure the hands are facing here. Not this way unless you specify that that's how you're doing the motion. Otherwise, hands are facing in. You can, what I say to some of the young ones, door knockers in. So just make sure they're doing this. On a touchdown, to the side, if you're looking at this, they shouldn't be too far forward, but they also shouldn't be hyperextended. That means your head's sticking out and it looks like a turtle. So bring it up to the temples, right by the ears, straight up and down. Straight line there, touchdown. Next motion we'll go to will be a high V. Basically, same thing on this, nice tight wrist. Make sure on the motion placement that you can tell everybody that it is an actual V. But again, you don't want to have arms hyperextended and you don't want to have them too far to the front. Okay, next one, we'll turn your back into the front. Now go to a low V, just the opposite of a high V. Same thing, a little bit to the front, not too far to the back. We'll go now to a T. In a T, what I will do with this is when I'm teaching people, I will usually have them right up against a wall. That way it's here and they can feel if they're hitting it too far back, that's hyperextended. You want to be able to go to here, look straight to the front, and out of the corner of your eyes, you should be able to see the tips of your hands. That'll be looking at your peripheral vision. That means they're right in the right placement. You don't want them too far to the front unless you're specifying that that's a front tee. Otherwise, you pull it there, not too far back, and again, it's parallel to the floor, nice, tight, and straight. We'll move on. This one, let's do a diagonal. And we'll just turn it back to the front. On the diagonal, you want to make sure it's straight line, going all the way through the body, all the way there. So, low V with this arm, high V with this arm. I will really usually work with people and do them, say, to start off in a high V, and then lower this one down. Or you can start them in a low V and raise one arm up. Okay, from this, let's go, I want to go back real quick to the half T. This would have been, you could start it from the T and to bring them in. This is a time that you can use those 3 other basic hand motions that we were saying. It's good to go here or clarify if you're going to do blades or if you're going to do candlesticks. We're doing these in buckets. That's just an actual half T, nice tight elbows to there. Okay, and we did diagonals. Let's do an L. Okay, and they both, of course, went in. Biggest thing on the L is to make sure that this arm is nice and tight, straight out in the T, that this arm comes up. This motion is a little hard sometimes for younger dancers because they can't remember which way the hands go and which way to turn. So really talk to them about making sure that the hand placement is facing in, and this is a nice tight T. Again, this is one that could be done if you want in candlesticks. Most of the times, though, it is in buckets. Cheerio. Cheerio is just a circle over the top. You would want to clarify whenever you're working on these motions which hand grabs which wrist. So you could do it whichever way. You could do low Cheerio. It's just straight down to the bottom and in a circle. So those are a few of your basic palm motions. You need to clarify how that you're going to transition from one motion to the next. You can do it by slicing your motion, which means just taking it straight through the same pathway up to the opposite side, or you can break it. So again, slice it or break. And here are a couple of drills that I do to help with motion sharpness, technique, and synchronization. I'll start out by calling a motion and giving it a count. So, ladies, high V on 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Okay, relax. Low V on 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Relax. This time we'll do T on 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Good, and relax. Then I'll do a motion technique of where I will start combining motions together. This will help with synchronization and overall timing. So on 1, let's do daggers. On 2, we'll shoot it straight up to a touchdown. On 3, high V. On 4, let's slap it down to nice tight clean. Okay, good. Let's count it out. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's do that one more time, a little bit faster. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now this helps with the actual synchronization and the timing because I let my students know that if they weren't sharp and they just kind of went on through, then the timing's going to be off. If the other person is super sharp and clean and hits it right with the counts. Really work with your dancers on not anticipating motions to where they're hitting it up. The other thing that I do when I work with younger kids is I do Simon Says. So that's kind of fun. I'll go Simon Says, high V. Simon Says, T. Now let's clean arms. Simon didn't say clean arms. Now, it's very important to also think about doing super sharp motions when you're doing any technical elements. We will show this one as far as when you're working on a jump drill. So I would have them, if we're going to do a regular prep approach, I'd say sharp high V on the beginning. Now, as you go through, you swing it around and you dip, and those arms are still nice and tight. At the height of your jump, you need to clarify and define what actual motion you're going to be doing in the air of the jump, because it does matter. You don't want your arms just to fly up and to go back down. You want them to be nice and tight. Once you land, a good clean landing, arms are nice and tight by the sides, and then if you want to pop it back up at the very end. You'll also want to keep your arms nice and tight on your turns. So if you were going to be doing a double pirouette, you would just go through and you would make sure to explain that at the very beginning on the prep, once you step it out, that you keep your arms nice and tight. And right here we have her doing an L motion on the prep. Now, as she would pull for the turn, you clarify where your arm's going to be. She's in a nice half T, and then once you land, if you're going to pop it out, that needs to be tight and sharp, and then also clean it up at the very end. So it does really matter what your arms and what your body tightness and sharpness is throughout your technical turns and jumps and technical elements in the POM category.